Welcome to Full Scope, a podcast designed to analyze the games that we love, the headlines of music, and the movies we can't forget. I'm your host, Wellington Burns, and for this episode, we have to talk about the NBA Finals. Obviously, Game 5 last night, the Thunder are able to win, go up 3-2. Also, Desmond Bane, he goes to the Orlando Magic, and we also have the KD sweepstakes continuing to go on. Where is KD going to end up? That's something that's just been a nonstop discussion. And also, if Giannis is going to be in the mix as well, or if he's going to stay in Milwaukee. But starting off with Game 5 last night with the Thunder and Pacers, the Thunder are able to win 120 to 109 at home for a 3-2 NBA Finals lead over the Pacers. Jalen Williams scores a career playoff high 40 points. Uh, Shea has 31, and it's very interesting to see the progression of Jalen Williams because I think that's the main takeaway. One of the biggest takeaways from the game last night. Obviously, Jalen uh, Tyrese Haliburton, he has the injury, the calf injury, and that's getting reevaluated. Shams Charania, he reported on that, but it was such an assertive performance from him, and he was so aggressive that we saw him kind of like rise up to a degree that I was even wondering, is this guy really good like in terms of just like being like a championship guy? Can he be that really legitimate second option, or is he just kind of like, okay, I'm Shay's sidekick. That's all that's going to happen. I'm going to be pretty good, but I'm not going to be exceptional. Was he in that James Harden mix? But I think last night he really showed us he's an all-star. I talked about it on Wellington's Y Zone earlier today and on all social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Check it out. Wellington's Y Zone podcast is coming very, very soon. So stay tuned for that for the new era of this podcast. But it's exceptional to see him do what he does, and for this was also the 10th and by far the biggest time Thunder Stars combined for more than 70 points in a game. Williams was 14 of 24 from the field. Shea had added 10 assists, and it was exceptional shot quality. It wasn't just like them putting up shots, but they were getting great shots, and that's the difference between the Thunder. When they can get great shots and not just good shots, they're almost impossible to beat. And that's what Indiana struggled with. Like Indiana just couldn't keep up with them because when they were playing their game, I mean, what are you really going to do with a team like that? How can you really combat what they do when they are playing their brand of basketball, their style of game at home, the crowd's rocking, and there's really nothing you can do. So 3-2. I originally picked the Thunder to win in six, and I'm still going with that. I would love to see, and I wouldn't be shocked if Indiana like really gives a heroic effort and wins game six at home and sets up a just a climatic game seven which for NBA Finals, which I mean, what's better than a game seven in NBA Finals? That would be amazing. I would want to see that. I hope Tyrese is better. And if he's not healthy, he looks so ineffective. I know the injury deal is something that's going to be, attributed to his performance, but we got to be real about the fact that that wasn't good. Like that wasn't good for a player to of his caliber to have a performance like that. So 3-2 Thunder. I have them winning Thursday night game six, but my fingers are crossed for a game seven. I really would like to see a game seven. And Rick Carlisle, he also said, quote, he's not 100%. It's pretty clear. And before we move on, TJ McConnell, he has to get played more. He had 13 points under 7 minutes of the third, and the Pacers were within five late in that quarter. You have to play him more because he's such like an energizer bunny who just brings so much to the table. Why would you not play him more late in games? Like I would have even played him more than Tyrese because Tyrese Halliburton was hampered. You could tell that he was not himself, genuinely. So I would say TJ McConnell, he has to get played more in that series, and it's just going to be pivotal for what they can do going forward. And to move on to our next topic with Desmond Bane, he gets traded to the Magic. Cole Anthony Town, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, four unprotected first round picks. A lot was traded in advance to get him to the Orlando Magic, which look at the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference is not like it's not set in stone. It's kind of wide open because you got Indiana, they're in the finals. They're going to be back, obviously. Cleveland, they're just running it back. They got beat by Indiana in the second round. And when you look at the criteria of what makes an elite team, the Magic have Paolo Banchero, they have Mo Wagner, they have Jalen Suggs, and then you add a piece like that of Desmond Bane, who's a 40% career three-point shooter, is just so effective in how he can just shoot from anywhere on the floor. Look at what that does for a team because what do they need? They need a catch and shoot three-point shooter. He brings that to the table. Like they literally have the missing piece to what they need, and that's a tough team. That's a team that could actually make a deep run into the postseason for next year. So I look at what the Magic have done as like, oh, it's exceptional. This is exceptional. The fact that they were able to get somebody like him and acquire him and bring him into the fold. So I'm gonna say this about the Magic. They're going to be the dark horse in the East. They're going to be that team that you don't want to see in the playoffs because they have a team that may not be as flashy as some of the other East teams, but they have like a quality foundational squad that can do a lot of damage in the post, in the paint, and now from the perimeter. So watch out for Orlando because they're going to be on the rise. And when I look for a Memphis standpoint, do you want to just fill the seats with John Morant and just be like, okay, John Morant's gonna have some horrible seasons with the Memphis, but he's with the Memphis Grizzlies, but he's gonna put butts in seats. He's gonna stack it up. He's gonna have the assists. He's gonna have the points. He's gonna have the dunk highlight reels and all that that gets reposted on Instagram, but they're not winning. So I'm wondering, are we gonna get into the era of like Memphis is just dog water so bad, but like Ja's really good, and we just have to watch the Ja just be on a crappy team for the next couple of years. Because like if that's the case, then what are we doing? Send him to Miami. Like if that's what you're gonna do, don't waste this guy's like early years. Because that has been a rumor that Miami is a team. Apparently, Stephen A. said Miami is a team that is interested in Shea. And you know we understand that Miami, they're on the in the pursuit of KD. I don't see that happening. I don't think KD is going to go there. I mean, I'm going to get to that later, but they're in the pursuit of another star, and Ja seems to be the type of guy who might fit that fold, and he's going to have to be a lot more disciplined because Pat Riley doesn't play. All the off court incidents he's gotten into, that's not going to work with Pat Riley. Pat Riley is, I mean, as strict and disciplinarian as they come. So that's not going to work with whatever job, with all the things that Job's been doing off the court. But I like the Magic. I like this team. I like the nucleus and formula that they have because I think it's one that can kind of be like just very concrete and foundational for what a team like them can build going forward. I think that part of it is just it's just going to be like really impressive to see, and I can't wait to see what they do next season. KD is stuck in the news, and the biggest headline with him has been Minnesota. Minnesota wanted him really bad. They wanted him for the trade deadline, and he was like, "I'm good." He was like, "I know Ant looks up to me. I know Ant wants to play with me, but I don't think KD wants a situation where he's like." I don't know if it's overshadowed, but almost kind of in a similar Golden State situation where you know the guy who's beloved there is Steph. You know when you go to Minnesota, the guy who's beloved there is Anthony Edwards. So when you go there, you're kind of like the visitor who's just like, I mean, you're KD and you're awesome, but like this is still Steph's home. And when you go to Minnesota, it's like, man, you're KD, you're awesome, but this is still Ant's home. This is still Ant's territory. And I don't think KD wants to go in an environment where he knows how big and prominent Anthony Edwards is about to be. I mean, how he's already becoming. But like, think about in the next 2 3 years when Anthony Edwards may have a finals appearance, may really possibly get to that next level of where he needs to get as a superstar, and KD's just in the shadows again. Because I think even after he won that first title with Golden State, he was just like it didn't have the same feel that he wanted it to have because no matter what, people are going to be like, yo, you won the two titles with Steph Curry. They're not going to say like it was because of you, even though KD was the best player on that team, albeit like with the Splash Brothers, he was the best player on that team. So it's really interesting what's happening with Kevin Durant because I personally think that I think the Houston Rockets are the best fit for him. when we think of coaching, Ime Udoka is an exceptional coach. I think
Yeah.
they already have a good rapport. Even Jalen Green is a guy I think Phoenix would I don't think Phoenix would be excited to get, but that's a guy you can trade, and Şengün, a young stud that young center that is going to be very, very important and very pivotal for the Rockets' growth going forward. But if you add a guy like KD into that mix of Houston, oh my gosh, like they're instantly West contenders who can like possibly go to the finals. But they're already ready for that because they have the foundation of a tough, gritty defensive team. But then you add scoring, which they need they need a bucket getter, which Katie is like that. That is like a smoked turkey ready to go. That's a cooked up smoked turkey ready to go. If you add KD to that mix, they can go to the finals. So I would like to see him go to the Rockets. I think the Spurs are the team he wants to go to. He's even said he wanted to be a Spur, but the Suns really aren't excited by any offer. They're not excited by the Rockets. They're not excited by the Spurs. They're not excited about the Miami Heat. I don't think the Miami Heat are going to be any any team, any fit that's going to make KD any better because KD would be the best player on that team. And it's like, I know you're thinking you just said about the Rockets, but the Rockets are better defensively. They're a better defensive team. And Miami has been so sloppy the past couple of this past season that I don't think KD it just doesn't even seem like a good fit to me. It's like, yeah, I know you can go there warm weather and this and that, but like basketball wise, this doesn't even make basketball sense to me. And like Hero Adebayo, like who are you giving up? You got to give some pieces up for that. So I would say KD to Houston. That's who I would like to see him go to. And Giannis is it's I don't know if Giannis. I'm kind of at the point with Giannis where I don't think Giannis goes anywhere. I think Giannis stays in Milwaukee because it's contrary to what he's saying about I want to win a lot of championships. 'Cause I don't think Milwaukee's the best fit for him to win a championship. I think San Antonio will probably be better. Like him and Wembanyama would be like one of the greatest duos I think we'd have seen in NBA history once they start clicking. But I think he's loyal. I think he's a really loyal guy. He's a Steph Curry, he's a Kobe Bryant, a Tim Duncan who just stays in the same franchise for years until he retires. So I think he stays there and and just sticks into that fold of what he wants to do and keeps it going from there. So we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.